Good morning from BBC One. In 2 minutes, Desmond Lynham presents the first of BBC Television's early morning visits to the 12th Commonwealth Games in Brisbane. Now on BBC One, athletics is on the menu as we invite you to Breakfast with Brisbane.
What on earth are you doing there at this hour on a Sunday morning? No, seriously, glad you could make it for our first Breakfast with Brisbane programme as we bring you live action from the Commonwealth Games. Now, today's the third day of competition. The track and field events begin today. And if you take a look at this clock behind me here, you'll see it's just after 7 a.m. Now, if you add 9 hours to that, you'll be able to work out, or perhaps you won't be able to work out at this time of the morning, that down in Brisbane, it's 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, so there's feverish activity down there, as you can imagine. And we'll have lots of action from several sports this morning. But one of the main highlights will be the 10,000 metres won in Edmonton 4 years ago by Brendan Foster. Well, Big Bren is one of our chaps now, and we hope to be hearing from him about that race a little later on. Now, I've managed to persuade a couple of others to get up at this crazy hour on a Sunday morning too. Steve Obet's here. Morning, Steve. How are you feeling?
Morning, Deb. Slightly dazed, I'm afraid.
Are you? But still looking forward to a bit of good athletics, I hope.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to sort of sit here and watch athletics.
All right. Yeah. And the 10,000 metres in particular we're looking forward to.
That should be a good race. We've got Mark McLeod, Julian Goethe. I think they could come away with a couple of medals tonight.
All right. Keep taking the orange juice, Steve. And my colleague David Icke is also here to bring you roundups at 7:30 and 8:30. Are you in good shape this morning, Dave?
Well, not at the moment, Des. Everything's just a grey haze, but I think we'll come into focus a bit later with a bit of luck.
I hope it said grey haze and it wasn't a reference to the old barn. It was okay. Well, God willing, we'll all be here, the three of us, each morning now until next Saturday. And before we bring you the sport this morning, you'll probably want to know what else is going on in the world, won't you? So we have the news first from David Cass.
Good morning. 3 Spanish colonels who are suspected of plotting against the state have been arrested. The Defence Minister says it's found documents containing incriminating evidence against the men, 2 of whom are brothers. Mrs. Thatcher has shelved the think tank report on how the government can make long-term financial savings. The report suggested private insurance replace the National Health Service, that state finance for higher education should be ended, and the link between inflation and social security payments stopped. There was opposition to the report both inside and outside the cabinet, and the government was thought to be embarrassed by the controversy it caused. A survey of 350 Midlands firms shows that most of them are depressed about their prospects. The survey says most companies are struggling to survive and that orders are down by 40% in the last 3 months. NATO foreign ministers are meeting for secret talks at a ski resort in Canada. Topics for discussion include the row over the Soviet gas pipeline and other problems of the alliance.
He'll be back at 7:30, David Cass, with a bit more news for you. Now let's get on with the sport. And do you remember that in Athens in the 110 metres hurdles, perhaps, the tremendous rivalry set up between two English runners, Mark Holtham and Wilbert Greaves. Well, Greaves broke the Commonwealth record, then originally held by Holtham. Holtham failed to make the final in Athens, but at Crystal Palace the following week won his Commonwealth record back. Well, they both took part in the semi-finals in Brisbane of the 110 metres hurdles today, and the commentators down there are Ron Pickering and David Coleman.
The full lineup on the far side, running for Wales, the reigning champion, Berwyn Price.